What's up, guys? It's Crash, and one of the major sticking points for Gray Zone Warfare got a really big update, and I want to talk about it because it kind of flew under my radar, and it was just put in as a hotfix, but I think it's kind of a big deal with one of the major things, and that is AI. I've said since the beginning, since before this game even launched, when they said it was going to be PvE with emergent PvP going on, that AI is going to have to be top tier, and it's going to be a major challenge. And it's nothing against this studio. AI is an incredible challenge for any game that it's in, unless it's just like kind of pretty much bots that you shoot, that you run around. But if you want engaging, really good AI that's kind of immersive, it is incredibly difficult, and it has been a little bit of a journey to get to this point with the AI in Gray Zone Warfare. And there was an update that I think is worth talking about because it changed it quite a bit, and I think it feels a lot better. I played a couple missions, as well as I bounced around to some different creators and checked out their streams and asked them how it was feeling. And overall, it is very, very positive when it comes to AI. There has been no shortage of hotfixes, as we're kind of accustomed to with Madfinger Games. When they put out a big update and they're working through this early access period, they are cranking out the hotfixes. But this one needs a little bit more attention, because if you're waiting for AI to get fixed, you should definitely hop in and check this out and see what you think. So let's talk about what was actually changed, because a lot of it is kind of cool and makes a fair bit more sense. So some of the fixes that they changed, and I'm gonna be glancing down to my notes so I don't miss anything. I apologize for that. But they did resolve an issue where AI occasionally couldn't shoot after moving in combat. They fixed an issue causing AI to spin unnecessarily during engagements, and they addressed several bugs where AI could get stuck in various situations. So just some overall fixes and things like that. But the balancing and enhancements is where I think it's pretty cool. They adjusted the AI's perception, so they increased the delay between detecting a target and fully recognizing it to improve balance and stealth mechanics. So you are not instantly targeted. There is a little bit of time there where you can try to move, potentially kind of de-escalate and remain stealthy. I really like that, especially if you're running around solo. Then they overhauled the AI aiming. And when I hear overhaul, I feel like, drastic changes when they use that word. And rotation behavior for smoother and more realistic responses. So hopefully it's not as like snappy. It's more a little bit more human-like and slower. AI can now toggle its flashlight during movement without pausing for a separate action. So the AI are flashlight togglers on the move. They can walk and chew gum at the same time, unlike me. Then we move on down to the new abilities, and this is always cool. When we hear them adding new abilities and new things, I always like that, because that can add, believability and immersion. We've heard some of the things from Mara in the live streams, that there's a lot of new stuff coming when it comes to that kind of stuff about how the AI are going to act and what they're going to be doing. Hopefully we do get that, after next year, we kind of get a deep dive from Mara on the AI and what's behind the scenes, because due to its complexity and the challenging nature of AI, I'm really interested in it. And it's very interesting how they program these things. But the new abilities that they have kind of focus on their routing and how they approach buildings. It says if an enemy player is no longer visible, they will assess a potential entry point rather than focusing solely on the last known position. So it sounds like, how I take this and what I kind of noticed is, if you want to go into a building, or you're detected while in a building, rather than shooting through the wall or going right to a window, they will head to the door and look for an entry point. They go on to say that's the same thing. They will be around like their kind of base alert behavior when they're not doing anything and they get detected. They will look to a door. And then when they're in search behavior, when they're kind of looking around, it says AI will now intelligently investigate a possible entry point rather than, again, fixating on the last known position. So when it comes to their tactical awareness, their base alert behavior, and their search behavior, they were going to be focusing on doors. Now, they also changed the reloading logic. AI will only retreat to cover for reloading if the cover is within 6 meters. Otherwise, they will reload in place. And it looks like, kind of from what I've seen, they kind of kneel down and change their magazines so that you kind of get a little bit of visual feedback when the AI is out of ammo. And then in the combat movement, they avoid moving to locations behind closed doors unless they are retreating and attempting to hide. So overall, I feel like the difficulty is a little bit less. It's a little bit decreased. And why I think this is pretty interesting is because the overall challenge that I've always thought that game designers have with AI is the fact when a player knows that they are facing an AI or facing a bot, we expect to win, because we're just shooting a bot, right? So we always expect to win. We have that gunfight, we kill them, fine, we move on with our lives. That's what we think is supposed to happen. So, we kind of, our dopamine is kind of, net neutral, like we expect that to happen. But if we get killed by a bot, I think it takes a frustration level quite a bit higher because we just got killed by an AI, man. Like we got killed by a bot, we got killed by the game. It wasn't another player out aiming or outsmarting us. It was the game. It was a bot. We died to a bot. And that can feel really bad and can really be off-putting. So if you have the two outcomes of fighting an AI, it's always a net negative feeling. Because if you kill one, you expect it to happen, you're chilling. If you die, you're angry. So it's always a net negative with AI. And that's why I think one of the reasons from like a player's perspective and from a designer's perspective, this has to be incredibly difficult, because if it's not just right, you're going to get like a net negative feeling towards the game and towards the AI, because of the two potential outcomes are either neutral or bad, in my opinion. That's in my head how I've always seen AI as a potential challenge for game designers. And I kind of feel like that's how it is in Gray Zone Warfare. But the Night Ops update is really cool. I haven't been putting a ton of time into it because the tasks, while they are different, are largely the same. And I'm really looking forward to the lore overhaul and even bigger, man, even bigger picture on Gray Zone Warfare. I really hope the studio can get to their 1.0 because the idea and the vision they have for this game is really cool. And we will keep you guys updated on this channel along the way, because I think the journey from where this game started to where it's going is going to be pretty cool to cover and document. Guys, if you made it to the end of the video, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you guys so much. And I would love to see you on the next one.